Well, the rough weather and high seas led to a dramatic rescue early Wednesday morning as 3 people, including a young boy, clung to what was left of their sailboat.
Right, the ship ran into trouble off the coast of Hilo, and this morning the 3 passengers on board arrived in Honolulu thanks to a shipping freighter that came to their rescue. And KITV4's Ryan Kaletsuji has been following this developing story and joins us live from Honolulu Harbor with the latest. Ryan, what can you tell us?
Joe, good morning. Well, we just got out of a press conference where we heard about the dramatic rescue from the Horizon Line, saving this Canadian family, the James family. You mentioned there was 2 adults as well as a young child on board. They're all safe and sound thanks to the rescue efforts of Horizon Lines. And we're joined by Stephen Itzen, who is a first mate on the vessel. Could you kind of take us through what it was like upon your ship, the Horizon Line, coming in and rescuing this family?
Well, the winds were gusting to 50 knots. The rain was sideways. You couldn't look into it. I put on safety glasses so I could even open my eyes into it. The seas were 25 to 30 feet. It was definitely a worst-case scenario.
Yeah, so can you talk to us about just that whole rescue effort? How did you guys go about upon finding the ship and hearing first the distress call and coming in, and then just take us through what it was like being out there and the efforts that you guys did?
Well, it started on my watch. I was on the bridge, and I got a call from a Lieutenant Hudson for the Coast Guard. And so she needed some navigation calculations, how fast I could get there and this kind of thing. So I told her I'd call her back in 10 minutes. I immediately called the captain, asked him to come to the bridge. By that time, he got there. I'd had all the calculations for him. And we altered course to a position that the Coast Guard gave to us. And it took us a while to get there. They were 150 miles away, about 147 miles away. And when I got off watch at 8 o'clock that night, I took my best sailors out on deck with me, and we prepared for every kind of scenario we could imagine, everything that we could come up with, and as fate would have it, pretty much everything that we planned on kind of fell by the wayside, and we ended up doing something else. We were using line throwing apparatuses that go off like shotguns. We were using life rings and water lights, but the captain did some very impressive ship handling. He was up against serious winds and rains and heavy seas. He got the ship down to like steerage way. As we were coming alongside the vessel on the port side, the boat was lost. It was clear to that. It had been demasted. It had taken on a lot of water. It almost capsized a couple of times before we even got to it. And then as we started I was getting ready to drop lines down to it and try to haul these guys right back to our combination ladder. It was just like a squall, and everything just started going out of proportion. And I lost sight of the boat. The boat crossed ahead of us. So I had to grab my guys and run over to the starboard side of the vessel. And then when I started getting ready with my lines on the starboard side of the vessel, the boat went down. I saw the boat go down. And we all knew that there was a 9-year-old on there, so our hearts were just sinking, but we were still doing what we could. So we got a hold of one guy. We got a hold of Mitchell. And we hauled him down the side of the ship, and we got him up on the vessel. And I had told several guys that they were designated as eyes only. Do not lose sight of the father and the son. And they did good. They did really well. And so they drifted off into the darkness where we could barely see them. I mean, you just see a speck of light, but we never lost sight of them. And it was restricted visibility and the worst kind of conditions. And then the captain did some incredible maneuvering where he was backing and filling, and he was using the bow thruster, and we got him.
Yeah, well,
we got him.
Thankfully, I mean, you guys were there, and we'll hear more about this story as it unfolds. We'll continue to try and get more interviews for you and keep you updated on the latest here from Honolulu Harbor. Back to you.
Well, Ryan, those guys deserve so much credit for their efforts. So what about those 3 people, especially that little boy? How are they doing? What are their conditions?
All of them are fine, I think, in a large part due to the efforts of this Horizon crew that we were able to save them. We spoke with them moments ago. We'll also have more from them and hear from them. They're a little bit shaken up, but I think they're just relieved to be back on ground.
Thanks, Ryan, so much for that story. Gosh, sounds like something from a movie.
It sure does.